everyone. Welcome to my kitchen/dining room. It's going to be a little echoey, but I just wanted to be in a different place. So here we are. I'm going to be talking about weeks 4 and 5, and it's going to be a little bit different because I was out of town. I was dealing with a family emergency and it was very stressful. And so I tend to cope with stress and things like that with food. So how did being on Tirzepatide make a difference for me in that type of situation? So we're going to talk about that. Also, before I left on my trip, I was able to get some numbers. And yes, that does mean my weight. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and how my clothes felt different. I'm Deanna, and I'm glad you're here with me, joining me on my grace-filled GLP-1 journey. So I am still on the lowest dose. I'm in my second vial of that. And the next vial that I will take will be titrated up. I'll tell you why. Now, it's not that things have completely disappeared, except for all bad side effects, which is a good thing. But in weeks 4 and week 5, I have noticed a little bit of food noise creeping in, which for me, I consider food noise that when I get hungry, I just want to get something in my mouth right away. I've been noticing that I've had to take some bites of food or catching myself taking some bites of food as I'm preparing things, and maybe grabbing things more than just taking time to really decide what I want to eat or what I want to make. So being impatient with that's kind of returned a little bit. And the other thing I think is that I'm able to eat a little bit larger portions, or I'm getting hungry a little bit more often. It's not returning back to the way it was before I started the Tirzepatide, but I can tell the difference, and I think it's probably about time to titrate up to the next level. Okay, next, let's talk about stress eating, comfort foods, and how it went when I was with my family. How did it go when I was in that stressful situation dealing with a family emergency? First off, I have to say, I was so busy from the time I got up till the time I went to bed. I had so much stuff I was dealing with that I really didn't have the time to just sit down and eat a good meal during the day. I could forget about eating, okay? So that is definitely the Tirzepatide. However, I would notice I needed to eat, and I would drink a protein shake or eat something really small and just keep going because I was just focused on the stuff I needed to get done. But when I did finally get to sit down and eat, I was able to eat a pretty decent sized meal. And of course, I tried to balance it out and make good choices there. Okay, but I was in a stressful situation. Did I turn to food to cope with the stress? One thing I noticed that was really good is that I was not able to really use the food as comfort or to cope. And that is the Tirzepatide. That dopamine rush that I would get in the past from eating something and just making me feel so good really was still quite dampened, which is a really good thing. That means it's still working. And so even though I was eating a nice large meal in the evening, it was just basically my body needed nutrients. I would sit down, I could relax a little bit, and I could eat something and get the nutrients that I needed and basically go straight to bed after I ate. I mean, that's just the way it was. One thing after another. Busy, busy, busy. So the Tirzepatide has definitely helped me with emotional eating. It's really helped tone that down quite a bit. Now, the side effects that I had, like I said before, have pretty much completely disappeared. Absolutely no fatigue, no nausea, no queasiness, no bad side effects whatsoever. A little bit of constipation still, but I think I may deal with some of that probably the entire time taking this medication. I think it's just the slowing of the digestion that's what's causing it, but it's manageable, and I'm happy with how I'm able to manage it. Now, let's talk about some numbers. So before I left on the trip, I went to my gym to get a full body scan. Unfortunately, it was not working, so I was not able to do it. So what I was able to do was talk to my primary care physician's office and ask, hey, can I come and weigh myself on your scale? Not make an appointment, just come in, use the scale for myself and leave. And they were nice enough to let me do that. The reason why I wanted to do it there is because I had a doctor's appointment with my primary care physician before I started taking Tirzepatide. It was for the sciatica that I had. And I got a weight taken then. And that was about 3 days, I think, before I started my first dose of the Tirzepatide. So it's pretty accurate as far as a weight at the beginning of taking this. So it had been probably about 6 weeks since I had gotten that weight. So within 6 weeks, I had lost 13 pounds. Now, I was shocked because I didn't necessarily feel like I had lost 13 pounds. I mean, I could feel in my body that certain clothes were fitting a little bit looser, a little bit more comfortable, so I did kind of feel it a little bit, but I certainly didn't think it was that much. Now, I'm going to say right now, I do not consider that I lost 13 pounds as a victory, okay? I don't consider that as being successful on this drug. What I see it as is that the drug is actually doing what it's supposed to do to help my body get to a size or shape that's going to be a little bit healthier for my joints and for my bones, okay? So yes, the drug is doing what it's supposed to do. I'm not successful and you're not unsuccessful if you don't lose any weight. It has nothing to do with me or you. It has to do with how our body is reacting to this medication. The other reason why it's important to get the weight is to make sure that I'm not losing too quickly, because if I'm losing too quickly, that can cause hair loss. That would mean I wouldn't need to titrate up to the next dosage. So, there's good reasons to have numbers. There's good reasons to have numbers on your weight, on your blood pressure, on your cholesterol. It's just a diagnostic tool, okay? But our identity is not based on a number that is in a metal box. It's really silly when you think about it, that we would think our identity and worth is in a number on a little metal box, But society has caused us to be here, and we don't have to accept it, ladies. We don't. God loves you and God loves me right where we are, in whatever size body we are in, whatever hair color, however many wrinkles, age spots, whatever, okay? He loves us right where we are. He loves you right where you are. And he just wants to be in relationship with us. That's what it is. So that's my faith, and that's my hope as I move forward. So tell me, what are some good things that have happened for you being on a GLP-1 drug that has nothing to do with a scale, that has nothing to do with a size on a dress? I like the fact that I'm able to fit into some clothes. I'm glad to be able to put on some clothes that were more comfortable in the past, and now they're getting comfortable again. So share your experiences. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget, I always put a video up so that you won't miss anything and you can help this channel spread so other women can have encouragement. And I'll see you later.